Good morning, my dear students. So we are back after a long time in the online mode of platform, right? Today we will be discussing about the chapter cell. See, some of you have also called me regarding the syllabus that sir, why it is written from class 9 book. Okay, now as per the syllabus given by the school, what you need to do is in class 8 only the 3 chapters cell, tissue and I guess flower. Okay, these 3 of the chapter we will be learning from class 9 book, and that is Concise Biology. Okay, Concise Biology part 1. The book looks like this. Clear? So we will be studying from this particular book. Okay, you do not need to worry if you do not have your particular book with you all. Don't worry, I will be sharing the PDF of these chapters as we will be progressing with the syllabus. Clear? So today we will be studying about the chapter what is cell. See, now as we are studying from class 9 book, so here up till 8 it is okay, but from 9 we need to change a little bit of study pattern. Okay, we need to understand the concept first and then we need to go through this particular chapter or particular syllabus, whatever it is here. So see, first is what is cell. Now I know that you all know that what is cell. Cell is a structural and functional unit of the body, right? Why it is known as structural and functional unit? Because see, in this particular chapter only we will learn that cell being the structural unit. Suppose we are making a building, we are making a room. Okay, so what is the structural unit? Structural unit is a brick, right? We will be arranging one by one brick, one by one, another after one. So the shape of the brick will decide the shape of your entire house or your entire room. Just like that, the shape of the cell decide that the body structure or as well as the function. Now coming to function, why it is known as the functional unit of the body? Because as we all know that we have several systems in our body, mainly say digestive system, respiratory system, heart or the circulatory system, excretory system. We all have this system in our body. We all eat, we all take in oxygen, give out carbon dioxide. So we all do this. So the cell as a whole will also do or also perform all these functions. Okay, now you'll ask me that sir, do cell have a excretory system? Yes, cell do have that. Okay, we will be learning about this particular thing. As in our body, the organs or the what do you say, we call it as organ, right? Suppose heart is an organ. Just like that, in case of cell we call it as organelle. Okay, so open this particular chapter 2, cell, the unit of life. So what is cell? You have learned that biology is the study of living organism. There is a huge range of living organisms from microscopic amoeba to huge blue whale. But all living organisms have a basic feature in common. They are made up of building blocks called cell, right? So the cell is the fundamental, structural and functional unit of all living being. Okay, of all living being, cell is the structural, functional and fundamental unit of the particular organism. Clear? Now you see, every organ in our body, the skin, the brain, the muscle or even the bone is composed of hundreds and thousands of such cells. Similarly, every part of the plant, the leaf, the flower, the root and even the wood is composed of exceedingly large number of cells. Now every cell has its own life, right? Okay, now most organisms including ourselves start life as a single cell called zygote. Okay, this you will again learn in your higher classes, but just remember that each and every organism starts its life from a single cell. Now there are two types of organism. One is known as single cellular or unicellular organism and another one is known as multicellular organism. In case of unicellular organism or single cell organism, this cell do not multiply or do not grow. It remains of only single in number. But in case of multicellular organism, this cell rapidly grow and divides to form a huge number of cells which further makes tissue and then it makes the organ, and then organ system, and then the individual. Clear? See. Now, who invented microscope and the discovery of cell? See, the first microscope was constructed by Dutch scientist Antony van Leeuwenhoek. Just remember the name. Okay, he was an ordinary public official who grounded lens and made microscope observation as a hobby. Basically, all his microscope are known as simple microscope. Now, what is simple microscope and what is complex microscope? See, simple microscope, the magnification power of the simple microscope is very low, okay, and of a complex microscope is very high. That is nothing more to learn from this part. Now coming to Robert Hooke. Okay, now who is Robert Hooke? Robert Hooke is an English scientist. Okay, he invented compound microscope. Leeuwenhoek invented simple microscope and Robert Hooke invented compound microscope. Okay, also the name cell is being given by this scientist named as Robert Hooke. What happened? Hooke examined a thin slice of cork under his microscope and observed that it was made of tiny box-like compartment piled up together. He reminded him of the room or the cell of the monks in a monastery, and so he started calling it as a cell. Clear? Also, in figure 2.3, page number 8, you will find a structure of a microscope. Don't worry, drawing will not come, neither labeling will come. Just for your reference, how does a microscope look? If you haven't seen it before, just go through it. Okay. Now coming to another type of microscope, which is known as electron microscope. What happens there? We project high beam of electrons in a particular cell or in a particular part of cork or any organism, and this gives a huge magnificent image. Okay, huge magnificent image. Now, do not get confused among the image that I am telling. Image does not mean that what you are seeing me. Okay, this type of image is not been observed. The image observed is dye colored. This you will later on get to understand what is dye colored, and is very complex, but you can understand that what this organism or what this cellular organism is there present. Okay, now see, this is cell theory. This page number 9, the box. Okay, you will learn that only. Cell theory states 3 major points. There are only 3 major points of cell theory. What are they? The first one, the cell is the smallest unit of structure of all living things. So that I have already discussed, that cell is the smallest living of thing. Cell is the unit of function of all living thing, and all cell arise from a pre-existing cell. Okay, so without a previous pre-existing cell, new cell cannot exist. Clear? Now what does cell theory means? Okay, take 2 examples, a plant and a mango. A plant such as a mango and an animal such as a frog. Structural unit, if we take any part of the body of the frog or any part of the mango tree and examine it under a microscope, it will show a cellular structure. Functional unit, any function in the body of the frog or in a mango tree is due to the activity of its cell. For example, the movement of the frog is due to the contraction of the muscle cell. Food is digested by the enzyme which the cell of the gut secrete. Digested food is absorbed by the cell, and absorbed food is used up in the cell for various metabolic activities. In mango tree, photosynthesis occurs in the cell of the leaf. The root cell absorb water from the soil, and so on. So whatever will be the function, say I am moving. So if I am moving my hand, my muscles are contracting. So muscle consists of tissues. Tissues consist of cells. So the cells are also moving. Clear? Cell dies and are replaced. Definitely all the cell dies and they are replaced by our own body. Okay. See, it is not that all the cell will die at one time, then definitely the person will be dead, but some of the cells die and other are being replaced continuously. Clear? The body of the frog or of the mango tree is composed of millions and millions of cells. Many of these cells continuously die and are replaced by new ones, which are formed by the division of younger cells. Formation of cells from pre-existing cell is never-ending chain. Most life start as a single cell. The life of the frog and the life of the mango tree started as a fertilized egg and as a seed respectively. The egg was a single cell produced by the cell of the ovary of the mother frog. The mango seed has an embryo formed after pollination and fertilization, which also started as a single cell in the ovary of the flower of the parent mango tree. Now these during I will be studying you flower, then fertilization and seed, and these are in class 9. You will get to know what this is stating. But just understand that all the cells are all the cells starts from a pre-existing cell and as a unicellular organism. Clear? Now see, cell, how many cells are there? There are infinite number of cells. Okay, you cannot count. The bigger an organism, greater is the number of the cell in its body. Single celled, I have told you that it is also known as unicellular organism. Many small plants and animals are made up of just one single cell. Example, bacteria, yeast and amoeba. They have only a single cell. Fused cell, some very small plants and animals are made up of a relatively fewer number of cells, just a few hundred or a few thousand cell. Okay, you will see, sir, 1000 cell is also fewer. Yes, it is fewer. And example are Spirogyra and Volvox. Multicellular organism or multicelled, most plant and animals we see around us, including ourselves, are made up of millions and billions of cells, which is uncountable. Example, human being, mango tree. An average sized adult human constitutes approximately 37.2 trillions of cells in the whole body, 100 billion nerve cells in the human brain, 4 to 6 million red blood cells and 7,000 white blood cells per cubic millimeter of blood. Cubic millimeter means if we take a small cube of 1 millimeter by 1 millimeter of 1 millimeter length, 1 millimeter height, 1 millimeter breadth, then this will be only this much. Okay, this contains around 4 to 6 millions. So just understand how small a cell is and how large or how infinite the cell number is. Clear? See, smallest cell, how cell can be as small and also as large as you cannot even imagine. Okay, see, cells are very small and are seen only with microscope. Smallest cell are bacteria, that is 0.3 to 5 micrometer. Red blood cell about 7 micrometer in the human body. Longest cell are the nerve cell. Imagine a nerve cell extending from your fingertip up to your spinal cord inside the backbone. That means how much big it is from your suppose fingertip to running to your backbone. Okay, so it is very large. So you see the diversity in the size of cell. Largest cell are the bird's egg, actually the central yellow sphere. Okay, so you eat egg, right? The kusum, this is, or the yellow yolk, that is one single cell. Okay, this can be this much large also. Ostrich egg, before development begins in it, is the largest single cell of the living world today. The white albumin layer of the egg and the egg cell are extra part added on to the actual egg as it passes down the reproductive tract. Now, smallness of a cell, a greater efficiency. Cells generally remain small in size, and this is because of two main reasons. What are the two main reasons? First, different regions of a cell can communicate with each other rapidly for a cell to function effectively. Suppose I am giving you an example. Okay, suppose you are in a train compartment. All of you have traveled in a train. Suppose you are in a train compartment and you are only alone there. Now, from starting of a compartment, one person is giving you a message and you need to pass it to the end of the compartment to another compartment. Okay, so you will go running there, you will receive the message, then you will again come back from there to the entire end of that compartment and you will pass that message. This will take time. But if it is like that you have say 30 people in that compartment and you are standing in a particular line by line, okay, then what will happen? One will give you the message, you will just pass it to the next person, that person will pass it to the next person, and then you will find that easily within fraction of minute the message will be passed from one part to the another. So smallness of the cell helps in this particular thing. Clear? Now see, now we will be having cells have a large surface area to volume ratio for greater diffusion of substances in and out of the cell. Okay, this you will definitely understand. Just see here. Suppose this is a cube. Okay, suppose this is a cube. Okay, now this cube have a surface area of total surface area, right? Now if I cut a portion from here, okay, then a small portion from here will definitely come out. When it is a cube, a complete cube, which only portion is available to the surface? This portion and this portion, right? But when you take out a cube from here and place it here, then you will get another 6 surface area portion, right? So when a cell is of bigger size, it have less surface area, but when you divide that into small parts, then the surface area which is beneath the whole cell, it also come out. Okay, that is why we call that cell being smallest have the greater surface area. Clear? Now we will go to cell shape to suit functional requirements. So there are several type of cells, several type of shape of the cells. Okay, this depends on what function we are using or what function we need it. Clear? Cell vary greatly in shape. These may be disc-like, polygonal, rectangular, cuboid, thread-like, branch, or even irregular. These shapes of the cell are often related to different functions they perform. Human red blood cells are circular and biconcave to pass through narrow capillaries and transport oxygen. So depending on the function of the cell, it have the structure of the particular cell. Clear? White blood cells are amoeboid that can squeeze out through the capillary wall. Nerve cells are long to conduct impulses from distant part of the body to the brain and vice versa. Muscle cells are long and contractile to pull or squeeze this part. Contractile means it is easily flexible. Okay, it is easily flexible so that we can move. Guard cell of the stomatophores in the leaves are bean shaped to open and close the pores. Now we will go to structure of a cell. Okay, see, the structure of a cell you will definitely learn from the book, but go to page number 15. Okay, in page number 15 you will see there is a table 2.1 given. 2.1 is the whole summary, of whatever we are going to learn over here. Learn through the book, but it is advisable before your exam just memorize the table 2.1. You will get all the answer of the different structure of the cell or different parts of the cell, or what we call as cell organelle. See, structure of a cell. Various kind of cells shows a special difference, yet they also a basic structural plan which is dealt under the term generalized cell. Okay, so all the type of cell more or less show a generalized structure which we will be studying now. Also, please be very sure that diagram along with labeling of plant cell and animal cell is very important, and it may there is a 90% of chance of coming this for your drawing as well as for the labeling. Okay, various kind of cell. Okay, now a generalized cell consists of 3 essential parts. What are they? The first one is cell membrane, the second one is nucleus, and the third one is the cytoplasm. Okay, so these 3 parts are very important. Now cell organelle or the little organs. Most part of the cell have a definite shape, a definite structure and a definite function. Such parts are called organelles. These organelles have the same status as a cell. These organelles have same status in a cell as the organs have in the entire body of the animal. A plant performing specific function. Cell organelle are living parts. Okay. Now come to page number 11. This table. Okay. This table. Just see it. Parts of a cell, living part and non-living part. So in parts of a cell, living part is a cell membrane and non-living part is a cell wall. Now remember, cell wall is only available in case of plant cell, not in animal cell. Now in the cytoplasm, living parts are endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, Golgi Apertures, ribosome, lysosome, centrosome only in animal and plastids only in plant cell. And non-living part are the granules, vacuoles and the fat droplets. In the nucleus, nuclear membrane, nucleoli and chromatin fiber are the living parts and nucleoplasm is the dead part. Now figure 2.6 is very important. Now we will be coming to cell membrane and cell wall. Okay. Cell membrane and cell wall, page number 12. Each cell is surrounded by a cell membrane or a plasma membrane. Okay, this membrane provides outer coating or provides the cell from mechanical injury from outside. Clear? See, each cell is surrounded by a cell membrane or plasma membrane. The cell membrane is living and has fine pores through which substances may enter or leave the cell. So it is the first guard, or you can say it is the boundary of your house. Cell membrane is composed of lipoproteins. The permeability of the cell membrane is selective, that is, it allows only certain substances to pass through while it prevents others. Okay, so it is a semi-permeable in nature. It's just like your house security guard. He or she will allow only selective person to enter and not the strangers to enter. The cell wall gives shapes and certain degree of rigidity to the cell without interfering into the function of the cell membrane. Okay, this is only, cell wall is only because of plant cell, and thus we found plants to be more rigid than the humans or than the other animals. Okay, because animal cell do not have cell wall, they have only cell membrane, and plant cell have cell wall and then cell membrane and then all the other parts. The cell wall is freely permeable, allowing the substance in solution to enter and leave the cell without hindrance. The plant cells shown in figure 2.6 that you will have already seen. Okay, now coming to cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a semi-liquid substance. It occupies most part of the cell within the cell membrane. Okay, this is the particular jelly-like substance in which all the other cell organelles float. Under a compound microscope, it appears to be colorless, partly transparent and somewhat watery. Many chemical reactions take place in the cytoplasm. Living cytoplasm is always in state of some movement. Okay, always like move. Now coming to endoplasmic reticulum, what happens? See, the endoplasmic reticulum or ER is so fine in structure that its existence is revealed only through electron microscope. So you cannot see it via compound microscope or via particularly your simple microscope. It has an irregular network of double membrane distributed over the entire cytoplasm in a cell. At its outer end, the endoplasmic reticulum or ER is connected with the cell membrane. At its inner end, it is connected with the nuclear membrane. It appears rough when small granules called ribosomes are attached to it and appears smooth without these particular ribosomes. It forms the supporting framework of the cell and also serves as a pathway for the distribution of the material from one part of the cell to the other. Coming to ribosomes. The ribosomes are numerous small granules either scattered freely in the cytoplasm or attached to the membrane of the ER. These are the factories for the synthesis of proteins. Now, these small inside questions are going to come. Okay, what are the factories of synthesis of protein? Now, you need to write ribosomes. A mitochondria, it is a cell energy producer, or it is known as the powerhouse of energy. The mitochondria are spherical or rod-shaped bodies. These are minute double-wall bags with their inner wall produced into finger-like projection projecting inward, which is known as cristae. Mitochondria are the sites where cell respiration occurs to release energy. This energy is stored in the form of energy-rich compound ATP and is used in the various metabolic function of the cell and in turn of the bodies. Because they store ATP, mitochondria are called the powerhouse of the cell. It's very important throughout your life. Before forgetting anything, Do not forget this. Okay, mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria contain their own DNA which can replicate. Now coming to Golgi Apertures, the delivery system of the cell. The Golgi Apertures occurs in the form of granules, filaments or rods which are supposed to be originated from the endoplasmic reticulum. These are very small vesicles of different shapes and are generally located near the nucleus. The Golgi complex consists of many small groups of hollow tubular structures with membranous wall called the cristae. Clear? And is associated with some minute vesicles and vacuoles. Golgi complex in plants are more specifically known as dictosomes. D-I-C-T-Y-O-S-O-M-E-S. Dictosomes. Okay. They usually contain smaller and more scattered group of cristae and vesicles. Both Golgi complex and dictosomes are concerned with the secretion of the cell. This is the keynote. Is related to the secretion of the cell, including enzyme, hormones, etc. and their packaging and transport to different sites within the cell. So this is the function of Golgi Apertures. Now coming to lysosome. Lysosome, the intracellular digestive center. Okay, so just like our stomach digest, or like later on you know, large intestine, small intestine, these all take place in digestion. So lysosome is the digestive center for the cell. Lysosomes are small vesicles of different shape containing some digestive enzyme. Their enzyme destroy and digest the foreign substance around them. They digest the stored food during unfavorable condition when food is unavailable to the cell. Okay. Now coming to, many damaged cells are rapidly destroyed or dissolved by their own lysosome, and hence these are also known as the suicide bag. Please underline, these are also known as the suicide bags. Now centrosomes and centrioles. A centrosome is found only in animal cell. During cell division, both meiosis and mitosis, spindle fibers develops from the centrosome. The centrosomes contains two centrioles which are short bundle of microfilaments arranged at right angle to each other. That is why they also appear in the shape of a round and a dash. Okay, see, it is given here in the microscope view of cell. There are no centrosome and centrioles in plant cell. Okay, in place of that they have plastids. Plastids are found only in plant cell. These are special organelles in different shape, oval, spherical and disc shaped. Depending upon the color they impart, plastids are classified as leucoplast, chromoplast and chloroplast. Okay. Leucoplast are colorless plastids. They have no pigment. They store starch. Cell of a potato have a lots of leucoplast in them. They only store starch. Chromoplast, these are variously colored plastids, yellow, orange and red. They are mostly present in the petals of flower and fruits and containing substance pigments associated with them are xanthophyll and carotene. Okay. Now xanthophyll is the yellow color and carotene is the orange red color. Carrot have a lot of carotene in them. Some coloring pigments such as anthocyanins are not associated with plastid. Instead, they remain dissolved in the cell sap and give red, purple and blue color to different plant parts, especially fruits and vegetables. Now, this is not related to the cell. Okay, these color substance is dissolved in the cell sap. Now coming to chloroplast. These are green color plastids. They have a green colored pigment called chlorophyll, and this chlorophyll help in photosynthesis. Chloroplasts are abundant in part exposed to light, example leaves. They also have other pigment such as orange and yellow, but these pigments are masked by large quantities of chlorophyll. Their function is to trap solar energy and absorb carbon dioxide for manufacture of starch and sugar during photosynthesis. Chloroplasts contain DNA and have the capacity to divide. Now this is very important. See page number 14, this green box. Some people describe chromoplast as the kitchen of the cell. It is a wrong analogy, because in kitchen we bring food from the market and we just assimilate it, give heat treatment to the food, but we do not produce food in the kitchen. We just cook food, right? Okay, see, in kitchen we cook food items produced by plants to make them suitable for eating, whereas chromoplasts produce the food in a plant. Clear? Okay, so from non-living substance or cell inclusions we will be learning in the next video lecture in the next class. See, I know that you are in class 8 and you are studying class 9 syllabus, so you need to just understand the concept I am teaching in such a way that you can understand it easily. Just go through my video lecture. If you have your class 9 book, that is okay. Otherwise, the PDF that I have already provided, just go through it, and we will be meeting in the next class. Till then, take care of yourself, take care of your family, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. Thank you.